Welcome back and moving on to our first segment for today, talking about all the developments and measures adopted to promote more investments in the field of information technology. Well, over the phone we have engineer Mohamed Harithi. He's an IT and digital transformation expert. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. So first of all, let's discuss this part when we talk about promoting or opening the way for more investments in the field of IT in general. What exactly are we talking about and what do we need?
And thank you for hosting me today at Nile TV. Let me spotlight about investing in new technologies, because the investment in information technology refers to the allocation of financial resources to acquire and develop and implement technologies and new systems that support the processing, cloud services, communication of digital information, includes investment in hardware and software, network infrastructure, and human resources, because the talent resources we host in Egypt are talented resources focused on new technologies such as cybersecurity, AI implementation and development, Internet of Things, many of technology sections. We can see we have many multi-initiatives under the supervision of Ministry of Communication and Information Technology and connected institutes. And we can see that we have universities in Egypt like Master Technology University or Nile University, focused on new emerging technology, so that we have the talent. Talent is the most important thing in technology and information technology, so that investment in technology is the way to increase the digital economic in Egypt.
Well, how can we prepare the new generation for all sectors when it comes to IT in general?
We have to prepare the new generation to be ready to the market. Because of that, we talk with new generation and youth at universities and institutes and everywhere, that we talk from the first year of your study in the university, you have to be prepared to the market. The market is the market is willing to host and to contain the talents and to contain everyone has the capability. The capability here is to be aware with the new technologies, because technologies is accelerating very, very, very fast. So you have to be ready. You have to be prepared for the new project. You can start your new project from the first year of your study in the university. We can find that cybersecurity services, for example, the team connected with cybersecurity, they can start a mission or a small project from the first year in their university. We have team in private sector, average started their missions from second years in the university, and we can find the summer camp. Summer camp is he can find the way to spotlight about the new technology that be used in cybersecurity and the new technologies that be used in artificial intelligence and many more. We have a lot of opportunity to spotlight and to know more and to be trained in new technologies nowadays.
So we are talking about this when it comes to universities and high schools as well. Are we only talking about the new or private universities that have opened recently, or also these are going to be included in public universities as well?
We can find a new generation of universities and high schools that spotlight in technology or new technologies. We can find some examples of university located in a new capital city that have that focused on cybersecurity only and artificial intelligence one, because nowadays and the future, from this year 2024 and the upcoming years, is focused on developing and implementing the new technologies of AI, and we have to train and to learn how to protect the digital infrastructure and to protect the private data and the public data. So cybersecurity is important. So the most opportunity now opened in the new markets. So if we can talk about the local market and the international market, as we mentioned before, Egypt has the capability to offshore the digital services. So we promote the new generation, and we promoting the private sector to start offshoring services from Egypt, because you know the differentiation and between the local currency and the international currency. We have the opportunity to start offshore, to start implement, to start to host, to start the service from here to Egypt, and retain the capability or to retain the talented and the resources in Egypt, and they can work and connect and engage with the international company from here. So university started something new. They started to invite the expertise. They started to invite the private sector to share knowledge with the students, to maybe to host the students in summer camp training, and to host students in research and development lab. For example, in my company, I invited some of the students to connect with the internal team, maybe to engage with active and running real projects. It's not a simulation, it's a real project. To be trained, to learn more, and if he exceeded the expectation, so he can connect and to start working in the summer. So it's an opportunity, because private sector, we can see that we have a growth in companies focused on technology and fintech and cybersecurity, more than 20 to 30% growth in Egyptian companies. So the resources and the talented resources is the most important. It is the treasure. It is the core engine to implement and to develop and to design the technology. And Egypt looking for to have the power of introducing new technology, Egyptian technologies products to other countries.
What incentives do we need to adopt in order to attract more foreign investments in this industry?
Related to this, it's an important questions. So we have to talk about localization of the information technology industry. It's an highly important. It refers to the development and the growth of domestic IT capabilities, including the establishment of local software companies, data centers, research and development lab, IT infrastructure localization, enables the country to reduce their to start a new business and to host their business and to invest in Egypt. So we have to empower the Egyptian company. We have to empower the small and medium Egyptian company. We have to give them incentives. We have to maybe to revisit the taxes and taxes modules, maybe to increase the companies that they started to offshore their services outside Egypt, to attract them to host international currency US dollar to be attracted to Egypt in official way, so that I think the Egyptian company is the key. Egyptian company and localize and started to implement a local product, Egyptian products that be able to be offshored and that comply with the international standards, and we can give the small and medium enterprise companies full insight about what is the other countries need, what is the other countries maybe such as an investment map. If my company focused on cybersecurity, so gov sector who is responsible for that, they started to give them the insights, to start to empower them to start exporting their services outside Egypt, because to increase and to solve the challenges related to economic. Now technology have the power to attract a foreign company, have the power to increase the number of Egyptian companies focused on new technology.
Well, how important it is when it comes to the concept of exporting digital services as well?
Exporting services, we have many multi-modules, our dynamic modules related to exporting the digital services, maybe like cybersecurity services. It's an easy way to export the cybersecurity services because no need to be delivered or to start the services outside. And we can start offshoring the cybersecurity services like penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, security operations center as a service. Their section, every step of this active section, we can start from here, from Egypt, and we can keep the talents and we can keep human resources here in Egypt. And the cost of cybersecurity services to be exported outside, the cost to be implemented in Egypt and to be ready to offshore, it's competitive. We can design, we can offer a competitive design from here, and this services can be introduced outside in Egypt and delivered with high score cost fees. So it's most important related to AI implementation, and we can find that we have a new technology related to no-code platform and no-code implementation, that the developer will be quick from starting to type a code. He just implement and customize and design the architecture related to any live services, such as as we can see here, Digital Egypt, and any live service that we can use with can use by the customer or by citizen. We started, I think we started to introduce these new technology here to youth and to universities that will keep the capability, and it will empower the resources and the company to start just implemented the services and implemented any kind of connected services with an easy way, and to reduce the time and to reduce the cost. Because if we have this model to reduce the cost, reduce time, and we have that the other countries need from here, and we have the data centers and local hosts, we can already from tomorrow increase the percentage of offshoring digital services.
Well, talking about all these challenges that we are facing, and when it comes to a modern economy, now we have seen digitalization all among Egypt, and including all public and private entities and services as well. So when it comes to the modern economy and the impact of all these developments on the economic map in Egypt, how do you see it?
I think Egypt have a good opportunity and did a great job during the past years related to establish well-designed infrastructure, because it's mandatory in digital economic. If we talk about any kind of digital services, Egypt started to make and to digitalize any kind of public services, as we mentioned before, Digital Egypt, and we can find related to financial inclusion. We have many of company focused on financial technology. And we can find the initiatives by the central bank, we can find Instabay, it's an official application that have a good experience and easy to use, and many of citizens, segment A, segment B, segment C, can use this application during the and the application can give the benefits because it's free of fees. We can transfer money with no fees until now to encourage citizens to use such these applications and to increase the number of digital transactions over the application. So we have a lot of achievements maybe done past years, and we can find this year the gov sectors and the officials talk about increasing the number of public services and digital services, and we can find that we have an official announcement related to study the more benefits to be given to the private sector, to engage the private sector that will be engaged with the gov sector to deliver and to introduce the public service and to engage more with governmental projects.
Sir, when it comes to all the developments that took place in Egypt, of course, we witnessed a lot. Usually, whenever we talk about an industry, usually there is a competitive advantage for each country that can be specialized in. So when it comes to IT in general, what is Egypt's competitive advantage?
I think the cost of service, and the cost of service is very low, the capability of technology, as I mentioned, the infrastructure. Because of that, many of multinational projects started to implement and to develop the huge data centers in Egypt, because the cost of implementation and developing data centers, if we talk about any country, the cost is high, very high. So that's the cost as the fee, the fees over service. If we can talk about the hosting services, it will be very high. So that Egypt have the treasure. Treasure is the co-location, and the cost is very low. And the talents and the resources, as we mentioned, the human resources, and the well-trained human resources is here in Egypt now. So because of that, any multinational company, Egypt is a treasure now, because cost is low. Egypt has talented resources. Egypt has a great and amazing co-location. So they started their business and started to develop and implement a data center to offshore the service from Egypt to Africa, to Europe.
I think also the concept of changing part of the weaknesses, the challenges into strength when it comes to the foreign exchange currency. This can attract more investments, just as you mentioned.
Sure.
Right.
It is the most important point. Most important point related to, if we talk about the challenge related to exchange from local currency and other currencies, it's indeed. But if we talk about the capability and if we talk of the opportunity, I think it's an opportunity if the other companies or multinational companies started to use to have such any agreement to keep the local currency and to deal with local currency, like OPEX agreements. It's a good step to attract the multinational companies from maybe Russia, from China, from other countries to start their business and to invest in Egypt.
Right, Engineer Mohamed Harithi, IT and digital transformation expert. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, moving on to one of the important sites here in Egypt. Usually, when we talk about Egypt, we have many different eras, different stages. People would like to learn more about ancient Egypt, but in the meantime, also we have many things that took place in modern Egypt as well as we have temples and ancient monuments. We also have modern houses and palaces that can tell us more about modern Egypt, like, for example, the Palace of Muhammad Ali. Let's take a look, then we'll be back.
The Museum of Prince Muhammad Ali's Palace is one of the most beautiful and important historical museums in Egypt.